lines in science and technology. Night vision, right? 50 to 100, the owl is 50 to 100 times greater than human. And the hawk can spot a mouse from 1.5 kilometers high. So all this just goes to prove that seeing is believing is a very arrogant statement. The human eyes has a very limited perceptual spectrum of wavelength, and a whole lot of animals and our best friend dogs out there are perceiving a world of sight, of reality, way exceeding the human capability. Humans compensate that by science and technology and equipment. Now let's move to our next sensory faculty, which is the hearing. As I mentioned, the hearing, the human ears hear 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Compared to the dog, that is very inferior. First of all, the dog can move their ears to capture where the sound directions come from. A few humans can do that. But we thought they were strange. They can hear distance 4 times the distance as human can, and they can hear up to 60 kilohertz. That's why we have dog whistles, which the human cannot hear, but when we blow it, the dog comes running. And we can hear a much greater sense of reality at a different wavelength again. Now, again, if you look at the animal world, our dolphins, they use sonar, radar, and humpback whales and so on. Their range goes from 0.25 to 150, 0.25 hertz to 150 kilohertz. Huge range of reality they're perceiving. And even bats and possums, they also use sonar, echo, and that's how they can find their way in the dark. And their hearing range is 14 kilohertz to 100 kilohertz. So again, very, very much wider. So we compare the human faculty, again, very much inferior to a lot of others. So hearing is believing, again, another arrogant human statement, not perceiving all reality in totality. Just like a blind people filling out an elephant, that's all. The next organ would be the nose. And here, the dog really, really surpassed the human. So dogs, can discriminate odors at concentration nearly 100 million times lower than humans. The olfactory bulb, or the smelling bulb, which I will show you later on in the second segment in dogs, is roughly 40 times bigger than the human related to total brain size. And that smelling bulb has 125 to 220 million smell-sensitive receptors, and bloodhound 300 million receptors. So huge amount of receptors compared to human. Dog's wet nose can determine the direction of the air current containing the smell. And so dogs, they can detect narcotics, explosives, even smell out some types of cancer, chase down criminals over long distances. And when we have earthquakes and so on, dogs are the most hardworking rescue member in the rescue team. They're picking their paws in because they can smell where the creatures are.
How does the dog smell cancer?
Some of the cancerous particles, they smell of certain diseases are in the parts per billion, and that is with this kind of receptor capability, they are able to pick that up.
Oh, do you mean when people exhale, they smell like a lesion or something?
Yes.
Oh.
They can smell cancer in the host, or some dogs can be trained to smell certain specific types of cancers.
Oh.
So this has been proven to be very correct. You know, you put the cancer cells in a test tube, train the dog to smell that and signal you, then you can put other random test tubes with random cells that are non-cancerous versus cancerous, and the dog can always pick them out. It's a wonderful tool of diagnosing cancer, much more cheaper and more accurate than a whole lot of $1 million mass spec.
So then we don't need to test, which is better.
That is correct. No need to test, but the medical establishment is way against it because if the medical doctors admit, I'm sorry, the doc can make a better diagnosis than we. You see? So I rest my case. That's why it is never a mainstream. It's never been promoted to mainstream science, a platform that it deserves, because you're running against. It's stopped against the whole medical establishment of the world, plus all the diagnostic equipment companies and all that backing the doctors. All right, it's not a fair fight, but it's a well-known fact. So you will ask, why humans are so stupid to not use the dog? Because their mind is not open. They have a narrow mind. They protect their little box in thinking
and so their eyes can only see the bunny.
Yes, that too. The perception of reality is very limited to the currency of that part of the wavelength. So that is why we do the opening up our mind in the first lecture. They don't have an open mind. So thank you for this comment. So now let's just take a moment and pretend we're dogs. When we go out and smell the neighborhood, with all this information, we know what the dog is just not going out there peeing and pooing and doing this thing and we're sniffing around. They're sniffing around. The dog knows every single inhabitant in that neighborhood. Every human, every cat, every dog, every other animal, who is healthy, who is sick, okay? Who are newcomers to the neighborhood, who has no longer moved out of the neighborhood, and so on and so forth. The dog knows all that. And yet that whole smell, and I'm sure the dog knows all that because it can even chase down criminals. 100 miles away, it can chase you down. Okay, so that's why it has no problem having a world just constituted of smell. It is a very real world to the dog. It has a sense of smell, of a smell world to the dog, with that kind of reality which will totally escape us human beings. And we always think we are superior to the dogs. No, it's actually the other way around, let's say. So let's move to the next faculty, which is the tongue, our taste faculty. Well, the number of taste buds is cats 473, so they are the least tasteful thing. And they do not perceive sweet, so cats have no sense of sweet. Dogs, 1,700. Man, 9,000. Pig and goat is the same, 15,000. So things are much more tastier than goes to the smartest of the human beings. Calf, 25,000. So they really enjoy their milk, as opposed to drinking their milk. So these are a number of taste buds. Actually, insects have the most highly developed